got quiet.
Yeah.
I
know. I think we're live now.
Yeah.
I don't know, just letting me know. And will you just keep me, Shug, I know that we're waiting for people to come online. You let me know as you see people joining and just make sure that we're working, we're doing okay.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome back to the channel. We are definitely live and live, large, and in charge. What is today? Tuesday? Monday?
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah.
Today we are doing a favor for you, a favor for ourselves, just to kind of remind everybody of why right now is a freaking good time to buy. You know, we love that the news is giving us all the bad news, so we're here to give you the good news. Before we get started, though, I have to introduce my beautiful panel of, I feel like we're doing The View or something right now.
I know.
I feel like we're doing The View.
Kind of, yeah.
This is The View on Las Vegas real estate, right?
Yeah.
Let me introduce our team. We've got our view on Las Vegas real estate, and that it's an amazing time to buy. So we've got Robin Robena, who's one of our agents on Cerrone Group. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Robin.
Well, born and raised in Vegas. I've lived in multiple areas in town, so I feel like I have a really good understanding to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Previously had a background in hospitality management, so yeah.
So you're a Vegas gal. Want to mute us over there? You good? Okay. Rachel Gaston. I always like to say Gaston.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
I know.
Right?
Checks
Rachel
out.
relocated to Las Vegas to
Yes.
work with our team. So this is like a big step for you. Tell us about yourself, Rachel.
Yeah, so originally I came from the Midwest, Missouri specifically. I came from the background for me with my whole family has either been in real estate, construction. So I grew up in the business. I got into the business about 6 years ago, originally licensed in Missouri, and then I transferred out here to work with these
she saw
lovelies.
how much fun we were having and
Yeah.
to be a part of that.
Yep,
Right?
absolutely.
Then we've got Trace Askew, who is also a transplant from Baltimore. I know that's how you say Baltimore, but I like saying it that way. How do people in Baltimore talk?
It
varies.
It varies
right?
on like what neighborhood you're in. Yeah, it's just
It's like
they say crabs. So you crabs.
So we got Tracy Askew
Mow the
here.
grass.
Trace.
You know, yeah.
Trace is actually the director of operations for Cerrone Group. So she's also a licensed agent, but she helps run shit. Let's just put it out there. She helps run shit, helps us connect with you. So if you're calling the team and speaking to us, Trace is most likely going to be one of the people that you speak to. Trace, tell us about yourself.
So yeah, originally from Baltimore area, and I had decided to move out to Vegas, and when I did, I found Lacey on Instagram.
You know,
And
fun.
you know, right? She was my realtor to buy a house here, and we completely hit it off like immediately, and became best friends and decided to work together.
Now she can't get rid of me. Yeah, absolutely.
She convinced me to get my license. I never considered real estate prior to this, but I really enjoyed it, and here we are.
Bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Awesome. And behind the camera, for someone who don't know, who we love so dearly, is our sweet doll Shug, or Charlotte Primrose, or Charlotte Bogaski now. Right?
Yeah.
She just got married. Congratulations, Charlotte. So she's going to be moderating. So this is for you to ask us questions about the market or really anything about Las Vegas. But we are really going to take this as an opportunity to go live today to talk to you live, not pre-edited, no scripts, about the reality of what we're seeing on the market in real estate right now. So Shug, do we have some people signing on?
Yes.
All right, so we've got some people say hi to us. Let us know who you are. Drop your questions in the comments box. Before I move forward, I don't want to do ourselves a disservice. If you're thinking about moving to Vegas, or you're thinking about relocating, or you already live here and you want to maybe look at possibility of buying a house, you need to click the link in the description so we can start that conversation with you today. That's it. That's my plug. And also while you're down there, subscribe and like the video and do all the things you're supposed to do. So, okay, girls. So I'm not as much in the field as much as I used to be because I'm, creating these awesome content pieces to help bring people to us. But let's talk about the vibe right now with buyers and sellers and also with new home builders. Anybody, jump in.
Yeah, who do you want?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so like for instance,
I'm gonna be the Whoopi Goldberg over here, like saying certain things. So
okay.
Popping in.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start off with resale. So for instance, even with my listings that I have right now, I'm starting to see, we're starting to do price drops. We're starting to offer more towards a buyer. So I would say even at the beginning of this year, our listings that we had on the market, they were gone
in less than a day, right?
Yeah, 40 plus offers. Now we're starting to see homes sit a little bit longer. So what we noticed with that is the sellers are pricing their homes more
reasonably.
That's a good, yes, more realistic.
Yeah.
Yes, not crazy overpriced. You're not having to go
value.
Yes, you're not having to go over like appraised value. You're actually able to get a little bit more from the sellers in terms of, let's say, maybe closing cost,
or repairs.
Right. Yeah, instead of just having to go out and just go above and beyond for making the seller happy. Now it's kind of, we're starting to get to a little bit more of an average to where I would say probably even like before COVID.
More
So
normalized market.
yes,
right?
absolutely.
See
So the
that,
buyers have
yeah.
a better chance of getting into a home. There's more homes on the market.
Yeah.
And so you get a little bit more flexibility with the sellers, which I think is amazing.
Let me ask your guys, all of your opinions. I know you talk to people every day who call in and who want to talk about the possibility of buying a home, and I know they have a lot of negative, well, the news told me this, and I didn't want to buy because this or whatever, right? You're hearing it from people on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
But what are your thoughts about how fast things switched? What does that make you guys feel in terms of not only as being realtors, but just from a opportunity perspective for buyers?
Excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
before, like you were saying, you kind of had to just settle, which I don't like that word, but you liked the house, you could make it your own, you didn't have to love the house.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
you can love the house.
Yeah.
You can wait to find the one you love.
You can sleep on it.
You can
right?
still,
Yeah.
you can sleep on it. You can still make it your own after, you know, to make it in love with it, but you can actually love the house now.
How does it feel? I mean, I know how I feel about this. I want to hear it from you guys. How does it feel being a realtor, watching the news, watching even clients, watching even friends and family members who don't often remember that we actually do this for a job, like rooting for a crash, rooting for a problem, rooting for there to be, you know, a time where they can, quote, get a deal on a house again?
I've been
to be honest.
I mean, it's upsetting. For me, it's upsetting.
It can be annoying.
Yeah. I think that's another way of putting it, you know?
Yeah, it's frustrating, I think. And even like we were saying with prices dropping, like when I speak to people on the phone, a lot of times they're like, oh, we know like the market's crashing, so we're this and that. And I'm like, no, it's not so much that the market is crashing or even that homes are dropping in value. They never have dropped in value.
Value is pretty steady.
What's happened is that previously when there was so much more demand and people were literally coming here like ready to offer their firstborn in order to get into a house.
Ready to offer their first.
They literally, I mean, it was
I love
like,
that comment. That was actually really good.
but it really was. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
People were coming, and it's like, you know, they were willing to pay these insane prices
Right.
that nobody told
would
them
do.
the house
Right.
was worth that.
Yeah.
The house was not worth that.
No.
In fact, the appraisals were coming in where the value actually was,
And
but
where they
people
still
were
are.
paying. Yeah.
Yeah.
People were paying way above that,
Right.
and it does not feel good as a realtor. We never want to encourage you to overpay for a house.
No,
We don't
we
enjoy
were-
that. We hate it.
That
So
was a struggle.
Yeah.
now what we're seeing is, the prices have come down, but that's because, like we were saying, people are being more realistic and they're realizing, okay, we're going to price this house what it's actually worth.
And the reason though is
Instead of
because
above
there's
that.
less buyers on the market. Like a lot of people think
Yeah.
it's because values are dropping. No, there's less people buying. Why? Because people were hiding their money and moving their money into real estate because it was basically free to borrow money for real estate.
Yeah.
Now the interest rates have gone up a little bit, which shouldn't stop you either. We're going to talk about that in a minute,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say that's
That's
a big
going to be
one.
something that you might have your mind blown by to realize like that things are happening that you could actually get in and still get the rates of 6 months ago,
Right.
but get the house of your dreams, right? So, but I just, I like to bring that up sometimes and ask, how does it feel? Because I think a lot of people disregard realtors and don't remember that we're people and that we're real people, that we have families, we have to pay our bills, and like we're tied to a thing that has not normally such volatility like we've seen in the last year, but that's always either up or down, and people have one skewed opinion or another, right? So because we're tied to it, we get this middle layer where people forget that this is how we make a living, right?
Yeah.
And because we make a living like this, we don't want to have you buy a house that you overpay for or you hate and then never refer your friends to us. The whole goal is that you are happy with us at the end of the process.
Yeah.
So we are rooting for you to get a deal,
Right.
for it to be a smooth process, and for everything to go peachy keen, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
Absolutely.
so I just want to
That's
like
the
throw
main
that in there. That's a little like soapbox moment for me to talk about, the fact that we are realtors, and we are tied to this industry, but we love you and we want you to have the best experience. And that's why we're doing this today. Because a lot of people don't know about all this free shit that's out there for you guys, right?
Insane.
So let's talk about new homes. We are new homes experts. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are tied into the new home community like you wouldn't believe. We have relationships, like deep relationships, especially this one. She loves making friends, man. She's like, oh, that person at that builder, this, and we're like, okay, Rachel, who do you know this year?
Who's your buddy over
Who's your buddy at this
builder?
place, right? And I love that, but we do that on purpose because those relationships are going to get us insight that nobody else is getting. They're going to call us and tell us about stuff before it's going to hit the market, right? They're giving us access to this information so we can share it with you before anybody else. And that's why you want to work with our team. But let's talk about new builds. What's going on in the new build world right now?
Oh, good Lord.
much,
A lot. Do you want to start or do you want to?
Okay. So we are seeing, just like you were talking about earlier, price drops, sort of. Really, they're just coming back down to what the value is. But more than that, we're seeing incentives like we've seen before, but not in a little while.
This is,
So-
It's been a while.
At least a year.
Yeah.
Well, and yes, we didn't even have inventory to work with on
Right.
a new home
No.
for perspective
Right.
just 3 months ago.
And they
Just
have people
3
lining out
months
the
ago.
door.
It was
We would get someone would call and say, I want a new home. I only want to build a new
Right,
home, right?
yeah. Right.
What would you say?
It was
Okay.
hard because
Yeah.
like a lot of the builders had honestly for a period of time halted all selling of any
Right.
new, they weren't selling anything. You
Right.
could walk into
They
a
had
new
nothing.
build sales
they were
office
completely back.
and they literally are
Yeah.
sitting there saying, we can't sell you anything.
They don't
Yeah,
have anything
Because
to
they couldn't keep up with the demand
Or
and they
here's the
couldn't keep up
list.
with the timeline.
Yeah.
We can put your name on this list.
Yeah,
There's
the
100
list.
people.
And it was like a lottery even just to be able
Yeah.
to make an offer on a
Right.
house, not even a lottery to get one, but
No.
So it was very
It
difficult.
was
and
it
now-
was disappointing because
Yeah.
that wasn't an option, and we hate when we want all options available for our
Oh,
buyers,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So
More
what-
options,
so-
the better.
Talk about the incentives, and by incentives, this means like you still have the opportunity to build a home from scratch, or what's really cool and really sweet and crunchy right now is all the extra inventory that hit the market when people had to cancel because
Yes.
the interest rates took them out of the ballgame, right?
Yeah.
Right.
price
So
around.
because they're standing inventory, which means homes that were already started, that you may still be able to choose the floors, the cabinets, the whatever for, or it may be almost done and
Yeah.
you're stuck with what they have, but they're gonna probably cut you a deal.
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of the incentives.
Well,
you're
and
seeing.
so I just recently went to one. It's going to be completed in December.
Okay,
So
so a couple months away.
buyer lost their job,
Mhm.
unfortunate situation, but it's quick move and inventory. Can't change the cabinets
Okay,
because they've been pre-ordered, but you can change the flooring. You can add backsplash. There's certain things that you can still do and change. And some of them are giving you still 10 grand towards,
sorry,
closing costs.
Baxter's
grand-
trying to
yeah.
get in on this. He
Yeah.
wants to be a
You
part
can
of the
come in, you can come in.
deal. He wants us to play with it. So $5 grand towards closing
Yeah,
costs.
like 10 grand towards closing costs,
Wow.
and then 5 grand towards upgrading. So let's say this house I'm talking about, if you wanted to upgrade the flooring, I
Right.
mean, 5 grand would probably cover what you're wanting to
Right.
upgrade for the whole
Yeah.
downstairs.
So you
and
basically
things
get
like
free
that.
floors.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And depending on the price of the home, covered your closing
Right.
costs. Or you could use it to buy down the interest rate,
Right.
which I know we were
Right.
going
Is
to kind of
amazing.
touch upon in a
We'll
few.
touch on that in a second.
but-
Here's the other thing too I want to say is, why I want to encourage you to work with us when it comes time to even just buying a new home is we are the ones who know about these incentives. They're not blowing them out there and telling the
Right.
world. They want to work with their realtor people who know that they have buyers ready to go, right? They don't want to get somebody off the street that doesn't necessarily know if they're ready to buy or can't qualify. They want to
Right.
work with our realtor connection so that they can pop right into contract and be done. So they're not outwardly marketing these right
Right.
away. We get emails from them all day, every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch on some of the emails I just got today, by the way,
Yeah. Oh,
because it's
perfect.
nuts.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit. What have you seen at the new homes?
A lot of that, and well, and the thing is too, since we have so many for each builder, we have different realtors, so they'll call me and let me know, hey, this just backed out. It's going to be completely. They did a lot of upgrades, but you know what? Since this is such a quicker move in, like 1-2 months out, we'll go ahead and give you some extra incentives. I know some of the builders are doing like interest write-down rates.
Right.
Yep.
There's another builder that's giving out with like a brand new. Now that will probably be what I think that one's
like
going to be
6 months.
6 months
Yes,
out,
6
but they're
to 8
giving
months.
like 25,000
Toward
incentive.
No, toward that's a 25,000 towards design, and
Oh, that was right.
they
Yeah,
told
the
me
design.
that they could
Yes.
ask to split it between structural
Mhm.
and design centers.
Yeah, so like your
wow.
cosmetic.
Never give structural.
I know. So
the
if you
structural,
want
that
like
was insane.
this massive bathtub, which
No.
one of my clients does, wants this massive bathtub
Or like the
in
walk-in
the primary
shower.
on
That's you have to do that
They can
before they
use that,
actually break ground.
right?
That's
Yes.
expensive
That's
out-of-pocket
building
stuff.
from the lot up.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. But
Yeah.
and what are you hearing people say about new homes? Are people asking more about new homes now?
Yeah, we are getting quite a few people. I'm getting a lot of calls about them again, especially because I feel like people are, there's a lot more people that are like coming back in to start planning
Yeah.
if they're a
Yeah.
little bit ahead. I feel like in the past when the market was so crazy, a lot of those people just were kind of like, we can't do this right now
Well, it's
because
so
you had to
frenzy.
move
Yeah.
lightning
Yeah.
fast. And not everybody wants to do that or has the ability to do that. So
Right,
I'm getting a
exactly.
lot more calls from people that are like, okay, now that things have sort of calmed down a little bit, we're back to planning our move out there. And those are people that don't mind waiting
Baxter's joining
a
us
few
officially.
a few months to
Debut.
build their house. So, that's always nice too. But the nice thing is, like she was saying, even with what they call quick move-ins or standing inventory,
Yeah.
those are at all different stages. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
might have one that's 6 months out, or you might have one that's ready in 3 weeks and everything in between.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit of opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, and I like that for clients too, because there are going to be the clients that are like, okay, I need something right now, but I want the new build. Or there's, you know, maybe your timeline is a little bit different to where now it's like, oh, I have more flexibility to be 3 months out, 6 months out, whatever the case is. So I think that's very exciting.
Yeah. The other thing I'm loving is seeing, you know,
absolutely.
you don't always have to use the lender from the builder, and that's something to be aware of. And a lot of people assume you do. Sometimes you do to get some of these deals. But what's great is Amber Coleman's one of our lenders that we work with. She's amazing. She's a wizard, right? Very creative. And what she's been doing with a lot of these people is they'll come to her and say, I really want to work with you, but they're offering me buying down my rate, they're offering me this, offset, all this stuff. And she's like, well, let me see if I can match her. Let me get more creative. They're wanting to use the money this way. What if I get them to use the money this way? If it's prepaying your HOA fees for a year, that could be high if it's a high HOA, right? It's buying your rate down. It's also applying it to this, you know, so being creative on all fronts is a really exciting thing, I think, about this current market, right? So you get to be creative.
I just had a client who that exact situation happened. They're getting ready to close next month, but they were in the middle of building, sort of in the middle of this frenzy of everything with the market. They kind of they slid in there right before things got super crazy, but same thing. They were being offered quite a few incentives, and with the rates that Amber had access to and a couple other programs things that she was able to figure out, it ended up being that she could really give them a better offer than the builder, and so they went with her. But you know, and we don't, obviously we're going to help you find whatever's the best situation for you. So if the builder is offering, and even Amber will say, look, if they can get more than that, like they tell them to get it. You know what I mean? So but it never hurts to just check and see, and sometimes there's something better. So for me, I think the most exciting thing is there are options, it's opportunity, and it's free shit for you. That's all I have to say.
That's the big one. That's the big one.
So we're going to talk about resale. We're going to talk about resale and new homes, but really let's get to the rate buy down, right? Let's talk about what that even means, because a lot of people don't even know what that means. I can tell you right now, if I had no idea about all the stuff that we know about, I would have assumed I'm never going to be able to buy a house, right? I can't afford this. The prices have gone up. The rates are too high. So even if I could afford to buy a house, I wouldn't get anything because I could only qualify. Like, this is what goes through a lot of buyers' minds.
Absolutely.
So what I'm excited about is that, you know, it's not new, but it's newly aware, right, around the world, that lenders can now offer like a 2-1 rate buy down, which is like they're going to help you, or you're going to get the seller to help you, or you're going to get the builder to help you buy it down for 2 years. So it's like maybe they're giving you a 5.5 rate, they can get you down to 3.9, and then all of a sudden in 2 years or prior to, you see the rates go below that, you refinance, you're done, now you lock in the new lower rate. So it gives you a chance to qualify for more, get the house you actually might want, but they're the ones paying the bill for that buy down, right? How many buyers are taking advantage of this right now?
I'm trying to get all of them.
I
like, why wouldn't you? You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry.
go
go ahead, Rachel.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, just playing off of what Lacey said too. It's like you can always refi. You're married to the house. You're dating
the rate.
That's
right, girl.
So that's a big one. And I think when you have that perspective, it's like, okay, wait a minute. You can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I think that's a big one for people.
I was gonna say, getting the home, like we're saying, marrying the house, date the rate, getting the home that you want at the price that is better for you is so much more important than that rate, because that rate can change and go up and down, but that price you pay for the house is not going to change.
Once you buy it, it's going to go up.
And when the rates go down, that's when it becomes so much more competition to buy the house. So it just makes sense.
So not only is this large and in charge when it comes to the new homes, but it's actually really popular for resale right now. Because, you know, buyers are finally aware that this is a thing and there's programs available. I personally have 2 listings right now. One of the listings, $400,000 home, adorable, single story, nice big yard, gated golf course community, gorgeous, right?
Yes, super cute.
Those sellers just gave $20,000.
$20,000.
Now here's the deal. They're getting the price point for the house. So people are paying $400,000. They didn't get to underbid the house. They're paying the exact amount that the house is, but then they're deducting $20,000 off of what they were going to make sure that seller is able to buy down their rate and cover their closing costs. $14,000 of that is the buy down of the rate. Just FYI, just give people a perspective of like money and how it's going to be able to be applied for that specific buyer. $14,000 of that is the rate buy down, and then the rest will go towards closing costs.
Yeah, we've had a couple clients recently on the buyer side doing the exact same thing, and it was like, you know, they thought they weren't going to be able to afford anything, you know, around the neighborhood of what they were looking for, the size of house that they wanted. And then when we talked to them about that, they're like, oh, wait, what? I can do this. So now the number that price range they thought they could be in, now they can look up here, because you know, it's not guaranteed, but
Right.
it's happening,
It's
and
plausible,
people are,
yeah.
and we've been able to. We just got somebody in contract just recently with that situation. They're getting they got $10,000 from the seller in order to put that towards their rate buy down, and now they're getting the house.
Because it never really makes sense for you to buy your own rate down. It's just the money, the numbers don't really flush out
unless you're going to be there for
unless
a
you'll
really
stay in the
long
house
time.
for the rest of your
Yeah.
life, right? And let's be honest, like we always want to grow bigger, better. There's always going to be changes in life. You can't tell the future when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Robin, how many buyers have you been working with that are now elevating what they're like? Let's say they qualify for 350. How many of them now are looking at 380 because they know that there may be some money to play with from
quite a few. And I mean, part of it's because there's more inventory, you know, so they have more options. They can, you know, we can ask for the world.
Right.
And then the other thing too is that's what we're seeing is these sellers are having to compete with the new builds who are offering these incentives. So, you know, and the bonus to them going, and this is the other battle they're having is, do I go new or do I go resale? And, you know, besides the interest rate factor, there's the property tax factor. And so those are really the two deciding factors, but that, you know, that could increase their rate if they go resell. So it just kind of depends on the client. And
there's lots of ways to work the numbers, depending on, you know, what the HOA fees for the house are. Like Robin said, the taxes. We can take a look at that whole entire picture and decide, okay, well, if we find a place that doesn't have an HOA or has lower property taxes, well, now you can qualify for a little bit more, so you can go a little bit of higher purchase price. There's lots of ways for us, and this is where having somebody that knows what they're doing is very important. Because it's not just a flat, well, you can only afford 350. We can work it around and figure out a way that it's going to work and that it's going to be comfortable for you when you make those payments.
Options and opportunities, money, honestly, and happiness too. And truly, I think it takes it from somebody who might have only been able to qualify or even consider a condo or a townhome might actually be able to get into a single family home now. And there's crossover there. There's someone who needed that 5-bedroom but was going to settle for the 4, so because they could only qualify for 450, now they're able to look at 6, right, or 5, or whatever that number is. So it's really exciting. So Shug, how are we doing on questions? Do we have any coming through?
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
All right.
Just before I continue, Shug's going to read us some of the questions, but I want to just remind you, please drop questions in the comment box. Let us know if we can answer those for you while we're live. And while you're down there, if you're thinking about moving or you want to maybe just look at if this is an opportunity for you to start the process, I can tell you, Charlotte, who's helping us with these comments, as well as a couple people on our team, are buying homes right now for themselves. So we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're not just sitting here telling you to buy. We know this is the best, most crunchy granola time to buy, and we know it's an opportunity that will go away. So we want to make sure you know about it while we can tell you.
So the first question is, I live in California but want to buy an investment property in Las Vegas. Is that possible with an FHA loan for a single family, multifamily house?
So FHA is typically, I think you have to do if it's an owner-occupied experience. So unless you,
for at least a year.
For at least a year, right? So that would be something that Amber could walk you through, but it doesn't always have to be FHA. If you're thinking FHA for a 3.5% down, which is usually what people think, I want a lower down payment. There's other programs that offer that. There's also the program, the family program that I know that Amber talked to us about recently, where you can put a family member in it. Let's say you bought a 4-plex, right? You bought a 4-plex, there's 4 units. The family member can live in that 1 unit. It would qualify for FHA or for the family, whatever. You're getting that low interest rate, you're getting that low down payment, and then the rest of it can be paid to you as rent or whatever as an investment and pay for it, right?
We also had a client just recently that, and I don't know what the name of the program is, so this is definitely a question for you to get the specifics from Amber.
All the more reason to click that link. Hello.
But there was a program where if the property that you're looking for as an investment property is already currently generating income, has a tenant in it already, they can qualify on the loan based off of basically like they take what profit is being made already, and then they're able to deduct that from your debt to income ratio and make it easier to qualify for it. So there's a few different options out there.
A lot of programs. So investments are right now is a great time to look at investment.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to say that because everybody was investing in Vegas prior to 3 months ago, right? When money was free to borrow. But again, if we can get you to take advantage of some of these seller credits, have them buy the rate down, you're basically right where people were 3 months ago from a rate perspective, but you're the smart one who's shopping where there's actually something to shop for. So kind of cool. What else you got?
Big one.
Somebody else asked, how are the first responder incentives down there?
Oh, are you guys aware of any first responder incentives? I do know there's a loan program Amber mentioned. Have you heard any?
There are loan programs for it, but there's also new construction does have some incentives. So it's like active, I can't remember all of them, but active duty,
Mhm.
nursing, and I think teachers
Yes, teachers for sure.
qualify for an additional amount. I think it's $1,500. It also depends on the builder, but towards closing costs.
Right.
I know of that, and then I know there's a lot of loan programs for
I was gonna
first responders.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know a lot of lenders that are doing that right now. I feel like I don't want to say it's becoming more popular, but I think it's
People are
becoming more
taking
like
advantage of
yeah,
it.
it's more like
Especially
more
in
open
our city.
opportunities. Yes, yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think too with COVID and with just with everything that's happened in our universe in the last couple of years, I think people are finally like, well, you know what? I've paid my dues as a first responder. Why don't I make sure to get paid back? You know, that kind of
And
thing.
I feel like since October 1, I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have, but I've noticed a lot of the local lenders are starting to implement more first responder programs
which they
because
should.
of that.
I
Yeah,
love it.
so
I
that
love it.
I'm glad that
Great question.
silver lining.
You know who
Yeah,
actually
it
can
is.
give you the full rundown? Click the link in our description. We will connect you immediately with Amber. I need water. I definitely have like something in my mouth, but immediately with Amber. She'll tell you all the programs that are available, but she also might even talk to you about grant programs that are available that we don't even have all the insight on. So what else you got?
Yeah, and that's actually a great segue because Oscar Love commented and said, Amber called me yesterday and I wasn't expecting it. So,
Hi, Oscar. Thank you for joining us. We had a beautiful webinar on Saturday. Oscar was one of our attendees. I'm really hoping that you guys were able to chat a little bit. Amber's, I think she's a mermaid wizard of loans who's amazing. And she wants to work hand in hand, one-on-one with you to make sure that you guys know about what's available for you. We just need to know you want to hear from us, right? So let us know, and then we can certainly set that up. Thank you for joining us on Saturday, Oscar. Looking forward to seeing you in Vegas. What else you got?
Yeah, so we actually have another comment that says, buy now with low credit score or wait and raise my credit score to buy later.
So I'm a big believer in talking to Amber and letting her work you out a plan, because you might not know if your score is. Do you guys know about that?
Might not be as low as you think it is. Number one, that was the exact situation for me when I first bought a house. I remember I was like embarrassed. I like called Amber and I was like, I'm probably not going to qualify for anything. My credit is horrible. She came back to me after she like looked at all the stuff and she was like, girl, your credit is not bad at all. And I'm like, wait, that's terrible.
Lenders use a different credit mechanism and a credit system than Credit Karma or even just Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, right?
And all that.
They take a whole lot of other things into account. And so what you think is your low credit score is probably not your low credit score.
And the minimum scores required for some of these programs are
like
a lot of times lower. I think 580, I think, for FHA, which is, so it doesn't take, I would say, work the numbers, figure out, I mean, I think if it's a good time for you to buy, if it makes sense for you and the numbers, then that's when you should do it. So,
and the thing to take advantage of is to keep in mind, you can always refinance later. So getting into a house when you have opportunity and things to choose from, and you can actually go shopping for a house, in my opinion, is a better experience than waiting until the rest of the world the rates drop and everybody else comes back online and then everything gets sucked up and you don't have anything to choose from. So I'm a big believer in get in while you can and figure it out later.
And Amber also can give you some ways to raise your score pretty quickly, very, very quickly. So even if it is waiting until it's a little better, that might only be a couple of months from now, not
and so
a year from now.
And talking to us now is what makes sense, right? Are you guys working with a lot of people who have started a credit journey with Amber, who have done some credit fixes? Talk to me about that.
Same thing is they call and they're like, I just don't even know if I can even do this. I don't know if it's possible. They get in with Amber and all of a sudden they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, which makes me excited too, because then it's like, I'm with them throughout the journey. It might be a couple of months, but she's really good about and I'm not lender, but I mean, she's
not licensed lender.
Sure. I was gonna say, just to verify. But it's incredible to see how excited my clients get when all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I can do this. And it's something instead of it being years out, all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I can do this in a couple of months. And then we can start getting that like ball rolling. It just makes I get excited.
I do too.
And it's not even me buying the house. So I almost just lost my train of thought here. But I was gonna say that's what I'm seeing.
I've had some not unique situations with Amber where it's been that they're from Canada.
Oh yeah.
And so there's a whole Canadian program and there's a whole So those are the situations that we've
We've
had
seen a lot more
recently,
Canadians
but-
come to the US,
Yeah,
moving
I
their
have,
money to the
yes.
US, I think, too,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, which
So,
is exciting.
You know, nothing scares us. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Nothing scares us, and I'm telling you right now, nothing scares Amber. Nothing.
No.
So, you know, for us, what scares us is when you wait too long, or we didn't get a chance to talk to you first, and you went with someone else. And we, you know, I really think it's important that you work with the team, at least. And it's not just because it's us, just because I've seen people go the opposite direction where we can't help them because they did go the wrong route to begin with. It's really important to work with a team who is locked in with their lending partner, who's locked into the both sides of the community, the resale and the new homes, the builders, and who's really locked into the understanding and the desire for you to love the city and love us enough to send us all your friends and family to buy houses from us after the fact, right? Shug, any other questions?
Yes, so we have another question. It says, I understand you need 2 years in the same job industry, but what if I just started in a new field and my income is guaranteed to increase in the future? Went from security to electric union.
Awesome question.
That's a
Really
good
great
one.
question.
Yeah.
You might be surprised as to how you can finagle the words same industry, same whatever. So that's a question for Amber, but have you guys been in that situation?
No, multiple times.
Yeah.
Because we do so much relocation here. So I think a lot of times what happens with the relocation with a lot of my clients is it's kind of what you're going through. And then Amber gets them pre-approved.
I think the 2-year rule is typically with self-employed.
Yeah.
I don't think with a W-2 employee that it's required for 2 years. I don't want to
used to be
make
the
that
deal.
gospel.
Yeah.
It's different
But
now.
definitely, that's definitely a question for Amber.
Yeah.
And that she can really help you with that thing. And like I was just gonna say when we were talking about earlier with the credit and all kinds, whatever challenges you think you have, the answer is never gonna be no. The answer might be, okay, you might just need 3 months, 6 months, maybe not right this second. But she's awesome at putting together a game plan and getting you on the track to where you need to be and getting you to meet your goals.
Great question.
Never.
And
it's never a waste of time to talk to the loan officer that you know you want to work with. If it's Amber or someone else, you know, and if it's someone else and they don't want to talk to you when you potentially could be 6 months to a year down the road, then maybe you should be looking for another loan officer because they should be talking with you and making.
They should be willing to do the work.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be going live with Amber tomorrow. We do our typical Wednesday live stream. It's going to be around 4:00 tomorrow afternoon. I'll be promoting that later today. So if you want some specific Amber questions to be answered, jump on there. But the real best way for you to really get those questions answered is click the link in the description. Talk to us. We'll get you connected with Amber immediately so you can have a one-to-one conversation for sure. What else you got, Shuggy Pie?
Paulick's World of Entertainment asks, what area of Vegas do you think has the highest potential to increase in value in the coming years?
Great question.
I like
down
that
the line
one.
on this
Yeah,
one.
let's see the consensus.
I know. For increasing in value. Miss Robin, start with you, babe.
Okay. I'm gonna go North Las Vegas.
Let's give us the why.
Yeah, so there are a lot of developments in the works for the future that out that way.
That are beautiful, by the way.
Beautiful, and even what it is now to what it is 5-10 years ago, it still is kind of night and day. So I'm gonna go with North Las Vegas.
North Las Vegas. I got one vote for North Las Vegas. What about you?
I was gonna say north and northwest.
Okay.
I'm thinking up towards like Sky Canyon just because of the developments that are happening out there. But I've noticed ever since I moved out here, North Las Vegas, and I've had so many clients actually move up towards like, let's say like Aliante Casino, Tully Springs, and it's incredible to see even in a short amount of time that I've been here, all of those new developments. So I'm
specifically the one I was speaking on was Tully Springs.
Right.
Yes, to Tully Springs, yes, and it's beautiful.
And Valley Vista.
Valley Vista is a big
they're
one.
almost finished. Tully Springs has so many more years left. Like I think for future, that's why that one
absolutely
sticks with me.
So I'm gonna go the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit. While I do believe that North Las Vegas, I'm 100%. There's a lot of value to be had, and it's a great growing up
and it ain't stopping
area.
anytime soon.
And so that they're 100% right. But I'm gonna say if you really want like the best value for where you're getting it, because North Las Vegas, it's like the secret's kind of already out, right?
Yeah.
It's getting there, but it's still there's quite a bit. I feel like the best kept secret as far as values and getting what you want for your money is the east side of Las Vegas because it's still very low in price. you're still very close to everything, because the only thing that people complain about a little bit with North Las Vegas is that it's a little bit further out, which
means 16 minutes.
I mean,
not
let's be
right,
honest,
yeah,
5
20,
extra
you know.
minutes.
We live in the
Vegas
Northwest, like 25 to
Vegas
the
people are
airport,
very
maybe.
We're
spoiled.
spoiled rotten.
Yeah.
I moved from the East Coast. I took my daughter to school. It took me 45 minutes each way. So like I come here and I'm like 20 minutes is not far, but people feel like it's far that live here. So I feel like the east side of Vegas is still up and coming. You can get a lot for your money. Great potential for you to find a fixer-upper that has great bones, great potential. Still really cute pockets of neighborhoods. You know, I don't know. That's what I've been telling people.
East Las Vegas has more like lot square footage too.
Bigger
So
bang for your buck a little bit.
if that's what you're going for, that would be the place to go.
Drum roll. I actually am split between the two, but I'm gonna go with Trace because I do agree from an increase in value.
I'm competitive.
To your
I
point,
know,
it's very
like the
competitive.
blondes versus the brunettes right now.
Right, you're right. I
I'm
didn't
like,
realize that.
hold on.
It's the
That's so
Oreo
stupid
cookie
after
here.
all.
you know? I do agree. East side, I grew up on the east side, and they stopped developing out there once the city kind of pushed towards Summerlin and towards the southwest. But now that when COVID happened and when all the stuff in the last year happened, the limited inventory really gave that area of town an opportunity to come back to life. And now they're starting to build over there again, and it's good.
I think, it really, like we always tell people, especially because we deal with so many people that are moving here from other places, the number one thing is to figure out what place is going to be the best location for you and
your
for
lifestyle.
your lifestyle. So North Las Vegas, Northwest Las Vegas might be the best for you, and there's still a lot of value to be had there. But we're really just talking numbers of potential of, increasing in value or getting in kind of at the ground floor before things get, completely, revamped in that area. That's why I think.
We're all right. Here's the bottom line. We're all right. And how great is it that you can ask that question and we know, right? And we're not all saying the same thing. Every other realtor in the city, and I'm going to say every other realtor because they're not all with my team, would maybe jump to the easy answer. And everybody loves Henderson and Summerlin, so that's probably going to keep going up. But we see people in the trenches fighting for the homes that they want. We've seen the worst and the best of it in the last year. We've cried tears of sadness and joy with our clients when they've lost a house they wanted or when they've won the house that they wanted. And it's been in every pocket of the city because we're dogs without a bone or with a bone?
With a bone.
With a bone. We're dogs with a bone.
Definitely with a bone.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I don't know. I thought they were chasing the bone.
Are sad.
They were chasing the bone. I'm horrible at those.
They don't want to go.
Is that a cliche saying? I don't even know. Anyway, we are that. We will fight tooth and nail with you. And so because of that, we've had to expand our reach. We've had to get creative. Like I said, we've had to look in areas that others aren't really looking. So I love that. What else you got? Oh, you got it.
I was going to say downtown also is one that, just a side note, it excites me for what's happening in downtown. So there's value there too, but it is a little bit higher because it's downtown and it's starting to get vintage.
I think it's smaller too, but it's a great pocket.
It's exciting to see how the changes are because these homes are older for Vegas.
They're my favorite, honestly. That's where I'll be buying.
I thought you were gonna say downtown, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that too. I was like, I was waiting.
Downtown, but not all the time. What else we got? That was a great question though. Thank you for asking. Any more questions?
Yeah, Slim says, hello ladies, it's Valentine. I won't be buying until next year. I have a builder in mind and wanted to know if Steve should accompany me to see a model home now, or do I have to wait until next year?
Valentine, first of all, I talked to Steve 2 days ago about you, and his son is having a surgery today. Otherwise, he probably would have called. You need to talk to Steve because I'm going to try to break your idea that you need to wait until next year to buy. I promise you. I think you're ready. I know you're ready. Actually, I know you won't believe me, but we met at our meetup event. We love you. All of us fell in love with you. We want nothing but the best. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think you need to let go of your dog with the bone. You need to let go of the bone. Let go of the bone of that one builder, although they may be the one, and focus on something where you can actually get a little more bang for your buck. And I'm going to tell you, sir, I'm pretty sure you're ready right now. So,
and have Steve go with you.
Do not go without us. Do not go ever without us. Ever.
And if Steve's not available, one of us will jump in and
we'll help Steve.
Let us know. So
just
if you want to go today, call us. We'll figure it out today.
Make sure one of us is with you for sure.
Because we'll build up.
Let's talk about why, guys. Why is it important for people to have us with them if they're considering a new home? Why is it important? On the first visit.
Well, first off, because that's what we do for a living.
Well,
so we're gonna know
the very, very first visit. If you don't let us go with you, we will not be able to jump in to represent you throughout any of the contracts.
They won't let us be a part of that conversation.
That's like the biggest one. If you because the sales agents in those offices, ultimately they're great people, but ultimately they work for the seller, who's the builder.
and they're being paid by them.
Yes.
So they're not gonna give
Yeah.
you and hand out a bunch of stuff that's for free if you don't
No.
ask for it, don't know to ask for it, haven't gotten a phone call
Right.
from them,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
So
that's what I was
we can't
gonna,
represent
that's
you.
what I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm
We
like,
cannot be your realtor
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
don't take us with you. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line.
because
make
we're
sure
working
we're
for you.
Yeah.
So
I always say, you know, if you were getting divorced, are you going to share a lawyer with your ex? Probably not. Okay, so
It's a great
even
analogy.
though
I like
Actually
it's a
love
much more
that.
happier time
Yes.
than getting divorced, but the
Yeah.
bottom line
Yeah.
is that the builder's agent, like she said, they're wonderful. They're not like evil people out
Right.
to get you. But
they're
at the
paid by
end of the
builder.
day, they
Yeah.
represent the builder,
Yeah.
and so their
That's a big
job is
one.
to represent the builder's interests.
That's a
Our
great way to
job
put
is
it.
to
And
represent
it's-
you,
yeah.
and it doesn't cost you anything. You don't pay our commission. The builder pays our commission.
Well, let's
So
say that again. We're free.
it doesn't
Yeah.
cost you anything. So
No.
why wouldn't you have a free lawyer with you? Just
Right.
kidding. We're not lawyers.
Yeah.
We're not lawyers.
Yeah, wait.
We're not lawyers. But
Hold on.
going on with my analogy, why wouldn't you
Yeah.
take advantage of having somebody in your corner?
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Valentine, don't go
100%.
without us. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line. And let
You
us
didn't
know.
get that yet.
Let us know. But
Just in case you're unclear.
Yeah, if you don't hear from Steve, you need to refresh. We need to talk to you.
Yeah.
We need to talk to you this week. So what else you got, Shug?
Okay, we have a question about solar.
Okay.
Are there any special rules or investment tips, either government or community/HOAs, for installing solar power on a roof if I want to be partially self-sufficient with power for AC outlets, etc.?
What a great question.
Mhm.
It's gonna depend.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna vary wildly on the HOA
Yeah.
and where you're living. I mean, it definitely exists. It's
Yep.
very popular
Mhm.
here.
Yeah,
There are
absolutely.
even builders that are starting to include it
Yep.
in their properties, which
Yep.
is awesome. I think super
Right.
cool.
But it
Yeah.
adds value to your home. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's great.
It adds value once it's paid
Once
off.
it's paid off.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just keep that in mind with, you know, if you're trying to sell your house and you have solar.
And do your research big time on the companies, because there's a
Right.
million and one companies out there. They'll be knocking on your door
Yes.
asking. There's so many different types of programs. There's leases. There's, you know, where you're going to own it. So do your research and make sure, because you can get locked into a contract that's like 20,
It's not good for
30
you.
years.
Yeah.
And once that happens, there's really kind of no getting out of it. So
Yeah.
it can be awesome. It can be great, but definitely do your research for
And
sure.
read the contract.
I was just gonna say,
Please read the
I
contract.
know you're supposed to read
Yeah.
everything, but really read those contracts.
Seriously.
read them.
Because 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
the owners don't know what they actually agreed
Yes.
to.
Do you guys see why I chose these beautiful ladies to work alongside me every single day? Like this is my work family. These are my besties. These are the people who I rely on to help keep me honest, and we keep, you know, I hope I keep you guys honest a little
Yeah.
bit. Get them into trouble too, but that's my job,
I
right?
mean,
So thank you for that question. Great question about
Yeah.
solar.
Those
What
are-
else you got? Any other great questions?
We don't have any more. Oh, actually, one just came. Oh no, someone's just saying hello.
Hi.
Tish Rigo.
Hey Tish, good to see you, babe. She's
Yeah.
always a big fan. She always
Aw.
watches the live stream.
But we have a couple fun questions if you want.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Somebody asked Rachel, what part of Missouri? I'm from Columbia.
Oh, I was just in Columbia.
She just got back like what, yesterday?
Yeah, I got back on Friday. So I'm originally from St. Louis. I actually used to live at the Lake of the Ozarks. I was a gas stock girl at Shorty Pants.
Hey.
And now most of my family either lives at the Lake of the Ozarks, honestly everywhere. But I was just in Columbia.
And just FYI, I'm from
So-
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
So like I'm
We're
also
like
a
all
Missouri
Missouri,
girl.
yeah.
I don't claim it too often, but I do.
Yeah.
when it
I
counts.
claim it. So.
And my family also spent a lot of time down at the Lake of the
Mhm.
Ozarks. So is
Yeah.
that where Columbia is? Because I moved as a kid. I don't
No, that's Mizzou.
Mizzou. Got it.
Mizzou, it's a college town.
Good question.
Yeah, that's good.
Where did that come from?
That came from Chris559.
Chris,
All right, hey
559.
Chris, how's
Thank
it
you.
going?
Okay, next question is about who's going to Life is Beautiful and what do you ladies see in Calvin Harris?
Oh.
Calvin Harris.
I mean, I used to have a crush on him back in the day, but
I never had a crush on Calvin.
I
Harris,
did.
so I'm gonna
A long
say
time
I don't
ago.
see anything except for
Yeah.
music. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
Who's-
it's
are
been
you-
a minute.
Who's going to Life is Beautiful?
I'm not
I'm
sure.
going to When We Were Young festival.
Oh,
So I
nice.
like my rock music. I mean, I
Nice.
do like the, EDM vibe, but yeah.
I
that's
may
gonna
be
my-
going to Life is Beautiful if I
Okay.
get these tickets that I may be taking advantage of. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be taking this year off. I've done a couple of festivals this year
Yeah,
already.
I bought tickets last year, and then this happens to me. I get excited when a festival or something's happening, and then when it comes down to it, I'm like, this sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm like, I don't know if I feel like doing this.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
commitments. It's like it's a
Yeah.
lot,
It
but
is.
it's awesome.
I like
Super
to stay
cool.
close.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of other things.
We honestly, I mean, September is jammed. I don't know if you guys watched my events video.
Oh,
I
yeah,
left
there's a lot
about
going on.
30% of what's actually happening.
A lot
out of
going
that video.
on. Yeah.
So there's so much else to work towards and to do and have fun with.
Yeah.
I think Life is Beautiful's got to run for their money.
I was
this
gonna
year.
say
I
that.
think so,
That's
too.
one of the cool things about living here. It's like if you miss one, you're gonna have
Oh, yeah.
17,000
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
opportunities
There's other
to do
options.
something else.
All
And
the
if
more
not
reason to
this
click
year,
the
next
link and
year.
relocate to Las Vegas. That's all.
Absolutely.
What else you got? And Calvin Harris, I'm not a huge fan of.
I
Dance
just-
was music though.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
been so like when he first, I don't know, not when he first came out, but
Bland.
He was a lure. I don't know. He had a lure.
Yeah.
He's like dry toast.
like what was that? When I met you in the summer, when that song came out, I was
Calvin,
like,
you're
I
watching
was down for it.
Calvin,
I don't know what to tell you. What
I'm
can I
sure
say? I'm being
Calvin's
honest.
tuned into our
Oh,
podcast.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Calvin.
Watching.
Well,
We all love you.
We have tickets.
Okay, so we do have
Yeah,
another
realtor.
real estate question. They asked if there's any listings that are smart home ready.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Quite a few. And it's more difficult on a resale perspective
Mhm.
because a lot of the owners who have their homes, unless they bought them new and they have all the documentation saying they're smart home, they'll assume because they put a smart thermostat, it's a smart home.
Right,
That
right.
is not a smart
So
home.
an official smart home ready home is probably going to be a former new build that was made smart home. Oh, now I got the other animal coming up here. I love it. But yeah, we have a lot of opportunity, right? Especially
Yeah.
on the new home front.
And
Oh my
Absolutely
gosh.
the new. Yeah.
And we know people who make homes smart homes.
Yes, we do.
So
Yeah.
we can
So
provide
lots
you
of
with that
opportunity.
contact.
Always
as
an
well.
option. Yes.
So I want to just run through, I know we might have a few other questions. I want to run through a few things that I made notes of that new home communities are emailing us directly
Mhm.
because they love us and they want us to bring you through the door. So just to revisit, and again, I'm going to touch on some of the stuff that we've seen in the resale market too, but just this morning alone, I got 4 emails, I think. One of them said, we will buy your client's rate down to 3.99%. Don't let the rate scare them away. The other one
Big
said, we will pay 6 months in advance of your client's HOA fees, which means they'll pay 12 months because we're going to negotiate it for you.
Yeah.
And that HOA specifically to that community is almost $400 a month. So that's $400 times 6 months they're already offering up front. And apparently our cat's going to join us for this next one. She's excited about these new home deals.
Yeah.
Another separate email, $10,000 towards your closing costs or rate buy down or whatever we decide to apply it to. 3.99 interest guaranteed up front. Like they're not even saying asterisk, they're saying we'll give it to you. And then the last one was no lock premiums.
That's a huge.
I got one
huge.
yesterday that was $25,000 towards, you could choose either, or split it up between, design upgrades or rate buy down, closing
Yep.
costs, things
Yeah.
like that, so.
And then on a resale front, I've seen just this week, $20K towards buying down the rate and also the closing costs.
Yeah.
List price has gone down, but they're still even giving that on top of list.
Right.
What have you guys seen on resale? Anything crazy outside of that? I know we talked a little bit.
Giving
but-
closing costs, price drops.
Yeah.
Those are my 2
I think
big
the
ones.
biggest thing that I've noticed is repairs.
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
within the
There
last
was
2
none
years or
happening.
so, yeah, you were buying it as
Everything
is.
was as is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's still a couple sellers that are just a little bit grumpy about
Yeah.
it and they're sticking their feet in the mud, but then you can say, okay, well then we're just gonna go find
Yeah,
another.
there's
one.
other
Yeah.
inventory.
And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, those repairs are taken
Yeah.
care of.
Yeah.
Anything else, Joe?
Yeah, so on the topic of new homes still, Vito DePaul says, hi ladies, hi
Hey,
ladies.
Vito.
Hi.
He was
On
on
the
our
webinar.
live stream this
Yeah.
weekend too.
Vito from Maryland here, are there still any new builds close and available for reasonable price under 525?
Yo,
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us all say that again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
A lot under
absolutely.
525.
A lot.
A
Yeah.
lot.
You're used to paying
And-
Maryland prices.
Yeah.
Really
We got
great.
you.
That's where I'm from.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
Really great homes
Great
and
square
great square
footage,
footage.
yeah.
Yeah.
open floor plans.
It's not even townhomes.
I think
No,
Vito and I
no.
need to buy a house together or something. I don't know. I gotta see
Yeah.
what Vito's all about. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Truly, yeah.
That's
I
a
would
great
say-
budget for
Yeah.
like a
Let's
very
talk
healthy.
about
Yeah.
budget. Okay, for new homes, what's the standard new home, 3-bedroom or more, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe 1,800 square feet and up. What's the price point you think people need to kind of have in mind that they should be shopping with?
I would say between like 400 and 420, depending on the area, because
That's just the bottom, right?
yeah,
Okay.
I was
and-
thinking around like a 430 mark, but I like
Mhm.
that.
yeah,
because
because,
I've
well,
seen it
because
lower.
like Valley Vista, we
Yes.
talked about that.
Right.
There's some in that community that are still building that are about 420, I
Yeah.
would say.
Okay.
But if you go southwest, you're gonna add another 20 to 30 grand to that.
And
And
So
it could be
then
the
you
same
go to
exact
4-
model.
And
Oh,
these
too.
are
Same
single
exact
family
model.
homes, single
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
Now I know there's also townhomes that are out there that are
Yeah.
brand new that are starting in the 300s. Am I right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Mid 300s typically, but
Yeah.
about the mid 300s.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say that there's some on. Well, actually, I know that there's some in Summerlin right now.
Yeah.
They're beautiful layouts, but they are. I mean, they're
Right.
townhomes, but they're
What, low
yeah.
3s, mid 3s?
mid 3s, I'd say.
And
Maybe
there's-
high 3s, but even
There's some
so.
in like close to Lake Las Vegas, 5 minutes from Lake Las
Yeah.
Vegas, that are like high threes, like 380.
That's amazing. That's
So,
amazing.
and they're
So,
great. I mean, they're like
Beautiful.
1,800 square feet.
Yes.
Townhomes,
Yeah.
2-car garage, like
Beautiful.
great homes.
We're probably talking about the same.
No, and these
builder.
are, keep in mind, these,
Yeah.
these are like, this is the bottom of the budget range, right? And keep in mind, you can still look at new homes still look at resale for even lower than that, right? So we can look at all kinds of things, but from a new home perspective, that's the budget base that we're talking about.
Right. And
Great
you
question.
can upgrade it
Yeah,
to be 480 if you really wanted to.
but don't
But
worry.
don't-
Vito,
I mean,
that's
I
at
wouldn't
least
really
five.
suggest
I would
that,
probably-
but-
The appraisal might be a little wonky
Yeah.
with that.
What do you got? What else you got, Shug?
Another question says, parents are thinking of moving home to Samoa in a year or two. How does it work to take over a loan?
Oh, that's a good question.
You would have to
I
call
have
the mortgage
never-
company.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
done a loan assumption.
And if they have the contract, it'll tell you if you can assume the loan, but if you don't want to go through it, just call them and they'll let you know if you can assume the loan or
Yeah,
not.
log on for her live stream with Amber. For
Yeah.
that.
That'd be a
Or
good
honestly, click the
Yeah.
link and we'll put you in touch with Amber and she'll help you get to the nuts and bolts of
Yeah.
it. Sometimes they will require you to prove that you can still pay the bill. Sometimes it's gonna be
Yeah.
almost like a new loan
Yeah.
process. And you may want to cast that as a new loan. They may have gotten bad rates and you could get better rates, things like that. So or maybe have to sell it to you. There's a lot of different kind of scenarios in there. That's a great question though.
That is a good
Yeah.
I'll be sure to see if I can bring that up tomorrow on our live stream, but you seem to be in the situation. So let's maybe just set up the phone call with
Yeah.
Amber so we can get you
Yeah,
going.
yeah, that's a big one.
Great one.
We're doing that personally actually
Yeah.
right now. So
Yeah, that's great.
it's title thing and all of it. So talk to Amber.
Amber,
Doing
talk
the
to
same
Amber.
thing.
We hate to brush it off to Amber, but if
Yeah.
you can't tell, we rely on her heavily because
Yeah.
she's an expert and she's the money. Where the money
The
is where
financial
decisions are
part,
The
made.
yeah.
financial portion of it. Mhm.
Any other questions, Miss Charlotte?
That is about it for today.
All right.
All right.
I want to thank you, ladies, for doing our version of the view of Las
Yes.
Vegas real estate here in Las Vegas. This was really meant to be kind of a roundup of all the good news, all the free stuff for you guys as buyers. If you've ever been thinking about moving, or if you already live here and you want to consider looking at buying, do not be afraid. This is a no shame, no guilt, or it's guilt-free,
Right.
judge-free zone.
Mhm.
Let us take a look at the numbers. Let Amber really dig in and try to do some fun stuff with you. And then we get to have the fun time of like actually shopping in a market that you can actually shop for a home in,
Yeah,
right? You're not
absolutely,
getting
yeah.
jammed into a home. You're not settling. You actually get to choose from what you want and really take your time to do it the right way. So
Oh yeah.
Robin, Rachel, the R's over here. Trace,
And Bruno.
Lace, the
Yes.
blondes over here. I want to thank you guys. And we'll be doing more of these kind of general panel kind of discussions. So let us know in the comments below what you'd like us to cover next time, whether it be living in Vegas, cool things to do. It doesn't even have to be real estate related. I can't talk today. Let us know. We'd be happy to create something special for you. But otherwise, high five, ladies. We did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And thank you for joining us live. If you're watching this on replay, we thank you as well. And smash the subscribe button, like the video, do all the cool things.
Yeah.
And we hope to hear from you soon.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye guys.